Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. This is Forex Mentor Jay coming to you live from the trading regime. I haven't. It's been a while since I've done a market review. December was a very busy month, plus with the holidays. Not much activity is going on to close out 2019. Now we are starting into a new quarter where we should see the markets trending again. I want to look at a few currency pairs for next week, February 9th to 14th. And then also I got a trade tip from one of my traders about the USD Singapore dollar. So it did do a pretty nice bullish move um, since January 27th. And in my opinion, when there's always a move, whether it's upside up to the upside or to the downside, there's always a correction. So this could be an easy correction if it doesn't break through the 139 area to 137 200. That could be an easy counter trend trade. But aside from that, not the ideal situation to go against. It's more for the advanced trader. So let's go into a quick market review. As for our watch list, we're looking at gold. You can see I'm all over this with shorts. Um, Stop loss is 1580, as I mentioned to the group. Looking for this to open hopefully later today with a gap lower as opposed to the upside. And then we should see this trade continue nicely to the 1515 area, 1536 area, which would be great. USD Swiss franc, you can see that it has broken out of previous structure here between the 90, let's put it at 96 actually, around there. So it broke out of this area here. I'll just highlight it. So that was a previous structure before consolidation. Broke out, went higher. The two EMAs, you can see that I use 2150. They're pointing to the upside. This is daily chart view, not completely bullish just yet, but I imagine it will continue going to the upside. What we will wait for is this to do a retracement, hold around the 97 levels here, where you see this line, 97,312. And then we could take this long to the upside if you want to do that. USD JAPI, you can see we need to have a break out of the weekly trend line that we have drawn here. Run a weekly chart view, get an overall bigger picture. So you can see that we're waiting for this to do. Basically, it's a descending trend line, but we're looking for it to break out to the upside. As you can see, my stochastics are pointing to the upside as well, which is great. Then we go to a daily, you can see it finished at a pin bar. It's in, it's in the key zone 109, 110. These asterisks, you can just ignore them. They're basically trade signals, a part of my system that I have. But we'd like to see USD JAPI continuing to the upside to fill this area over here, just as much as gold is moving to the downside, because that is a highly negatively correlated to the gold commodity, USD JAPI. So moving on here, USD Canadian, it was very indecisive last week, even after a positive NFP report. A lot of monthly resistance at the 133,400 level. So seeing how we do have weak oil at the moment, we could see this continuing to the upside, possibly 135, as I mentioned last week, or it could break further down if it fails to close above 133,300 for further move either back down to this trend line or all the way down to the 128 levels. But I don't see that happening now. I see it's actually either staying in limbo between 133 and 131, or possibly go to 135. CAD JAPI, it's inverse relationship. I look for this. We did send a signal for it to be short, so to get out, because looking at this daily bullish candle here is significant. It could mean that either market's retracing to fill this gap over here, which it already did. It failed to close inside the trend line, so I would say this is still bearish, especially with it being CAD Jappy. CAD reacts a lot to the price of oil, so oil being down in a good situation, considering all other market drivers and dynamics. CAD should follow oil, and this yen pair should continue to the downside. But then it also has the odd moments where it does follow USD Jappy, believe it or not. So we'll keep an eye on that. Pound CAD, nothing really happening there. It's looking to go bearish. We have this big bull candle right here. Just highlight it. It's actually bullish activity. This whole area right here is significant. We'll take this off. Okay, so previous structure. Sorry, went from this area. Previous structure was around here. Broke out, came higher. Right, broke out first breakout, came higher, broke back through. Someone held, broke out, didn't make a higher high than this high, and now it's struggling. So 171. If it holds that, we're riding this baby all the way to 177 or even higher. I'd like to see all the rest of the GBP pairs follow suit as well, and then also with a weak CAD pair that could help as a catalyst for pound CAD to give us that favorable move to the upside. However, stochastic is pointing downwards on the daily, and on the weekly, it's still crossed over. It looks like it might cross back up. Not quite sure. This is indecisive. 4 hour, if it holds 171, then that's the trade. We take it to the upside. So keep an eye on that there for the open. Another GBP pair, GBP Jappy, also indecisive. It could go further up. It could go further down. If it breaks this this yellow weekly trend line here, we see a break of 141, a retest, and then probably further down. Ideally to maybe 136, 300, somewhere there. With pound USD being potentially, pound CAD being potentially bullish, the leading GBP pairs tend to move in the same direction. So we would want to see pound Jappy more to the upside. If we're going to short it, just as how we were short pound USD last week, look at that nice clean break right there. What I would like to see market open is a retest of the 129 levels, and then we could ride this short for about 150 pips to the downside. That's a no-brainer trade right there. Because of the weekly close, 2 weekly candles close out of the previous structure. This area here. So it shows that the bears are in control. They can take it to the downside, but again, overall long term, the GBP with the success of Brexit is a long term buy. Euro USD, I told the group to short that last week. It moved, but not a whole lot. Again, too slow. I'm waiting for this to turn around and go to the upside. That's a better trade for me, in my opinion, in terms of risk to reward. So for now, we'll leave this alone. Euro pound, the last pair, which is the negative correlated pair to GBP pairs. Looking for this to continue to move to the upside, also following USD CAD. You find that they're more positively correlated, so we could see 88 with this pair. Either it could be sometime next week. Who knows? Depending on the news, which we'll look at momentarily as to see what is going to affect the group or affect our trades for next week. So to recap, the most interesting out of all these pairs for next week, in my opinion, pound CAD, CAD Jappy to the downside, pound CAD to the upside, USD CAD. Above 133, 300 maybe. Um, USD JAPY, it all depends. If it does a break and close above 110, absolutely. This easy quick trade, if I see a bearish candle opening up, I know a retrace is coming, I'll definitely take that short because there's a lot of room. USD Swiss franc, not really interested in, to be honest. And then gold, as I said, looking for a bearish opening and then further downward continuation in that pair. So that is all for now in terms of market review, February 9th to February 14th. By all means, any feedback, any questions, if you're interested in one-on-one mentoring sessions to just have a breakdown of the market or have me as a guide and just really simplify Forex for you, then we could definitely discuss that and see if we can arrange that. So like, share, subscribe. Still somewhat new to this in terms of the whole YouTube user ability and creating videos, but they might get better over time. So signing off, and we will be watching the market open in the next 2 hours. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.